Hi, and welcome to another episode of Get Your Chat On with GYC Vegas, recorded and produced at the Video Podcast Studio. I'm your host, Gina Yager, founder and director of GYC Vegas, an award-winning PR and marketing agency. We believe every company has a story to tell, and we're passionate about getting businesses recognized. At Get Your Chat On, we sit down with local professionals to get to know a little about their organization, their role, and their perspective on our vibrant business community here in Southern Nevada. On today's episode, we're chatting with Wendy Hodges-Kent, Director of Development for Junior Achievement of Southern Nevada. A seasoned advocate for youth and community empowerment, Wendy has built an impressive career spanning her early work addressing hunger at local, state, and national levels in Texas to her current focus on youth development in Nevada. Her diverse background includes serving as Vice President of Prevention Programs and Volunteerism at SafeNest, Nevada's leading domestic violence agency, launching Texas's first Freedom School in partnership with the Children's Defense Fund, and working as an elected trustee for the Cedar Hill Independent School District. As a certified group facilitator and expert in team building, Wendy has worked with Texas's 30th Congressional District and in leadership roles at the U.S. Department of Labor and Junior Achievement of Dallas, consistently demonstrating her unwavering commitment to empowering communities and supporting the next generation of leaders. Thank you so much for joining us, Wendy. You have such an impressive resume, and I'm excited to talk to you.
It's been an impressive journey.
So tell me more about Junior Achievement of Southern Nevada and your role there.
Junior Achievement of Southern Nevada has been around for over 28 years in the local area, and our umbrella organization, JAUSA, has been around for over 100 years. And we are the leading organization teaching economic education for K through 12. We've been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize for over three times in the last years.
Wow.
Yeah, impressive. We've done some amazing work across the country, teaching young people the business of life. Mm-hmm. And so, it's exciting work.
Has it always been that same mission from the very beginning 100 years ago, or has that shifted throughout the years?
It's pretty much been the same. For us, it's about teaching young people to own their economic success. Our kids navigate a global marketplace, and it's our role to help them kind of understand their how they fit into the larger economy.
Mm-hmm. Were you at the LVGEA's perspective yesterday?
Absolutely.
Did you get did you hear your Jeremy Aguero in his big speech actually make a nod to the financial park?
As soon as he did that, I immediately was texting our president right then and there, and so had an opportunity. Actually, I waited around a little later for everybody to kind of leave out the parking lot, and so I was one of the last people to leave, but. Fortunately, I got a chance to talk with Jeremy and Lieutenant Governor as I walked out of the building. The two of them were talking.
That is so funny.
And so it was nice. Our legislators understand, and we have the importance of this information, of this education. And so we have the last legislative session. There were two bills that were passed, AB 274 and SB 249.
Okay.
And those two bills speak to a young person having at least a semester of personal finance before they graduate high school. It talks about touch points starting in third grade. And so this is exactly the work that we do. And so we're saying, allow us to expand our partnership and come into the classrooms and work with your young people.
Wow. And those pieces passed?
They did.
They did pass.
It's an unfunded mandate.
Okay.
So unfortunately, we're still looking for money to train educators to do that. But great teachers seek out the information. And so we have, probably 70 schools or so already signed up to come through financial literacy with us.
That's fascinating. It's exciting because I learned, I don't remember what year it was in high school, maybe sophomore year, maybe junior year, how to balance a checkbook. I know they don't, nobody balances checkbooks physically anymore, but really understanding how to budget for myself, and that's just not taught here in Nevada. And so I love that you guys are bringing that into the schools here.
Yeah. We have a unique and a fun, interactive way to help young people understand just kind of how to do all of this.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about your programming and the finance park, too.
Absolutely.
I love that place.
So right now we have a 40,000 square foot building. On one side of it is for elementary school students, and the other side is for middle and high school. One side, elementary school, it's called J.A. Betty's BizTown. That's named after Betty Ingolstadt. But it really is important for young people to understand how business-to-business transactions happen, business-to-consumer transactions happen, just kind of how a young person fits into the economy. So these are fifth graders that come to our center after 12 hours of lessons in the classroom. This really kind of brings all of it to life. They run the city, and it's really neat to see, 150 kids just kind of interacting and moving. It's a bustling city when they're there. So they become the mayor of the city, and they, talk to their constituency about, things like civic laws, about voting and different things, and getting engaged in their community. Our city, we want to make sure that our city reflected the city that our kids live in. So the Raiders are there, Caesars Entertainment is there, UNLV, the mining industry is there, RSM, an accounting firm, we have PNC Bank, Lexicon Bank. So then people get a chance to decide, do they want to go with a large corporate bank or do they want to go with a small community bank? And they go and they talk to each of the CEOs and they understand just kind of the points and just kind of what are the benefits of being in one way or the other.
Wow. It's just so cool. Talk about your journey to where you are today. Some of the key milestones that shaped your career and brought you where you are.
Absolutely. I want to first go back and talk a little bit about Finance Park.
Of course.
The other half of the center.
Yes, keep going.
So Finance Park is for middle and high schoolers, and this is when they become an adult for a day. And in this position, they actually put their interest into an iPad, and it generates them an adult persona. So they get a credit score, they get a family dynamic, they're married or single, it tells them how many kids they have and the age of their young people. They get an occupation and a salary. They then have to balance their budget over 1 month for over 26 different categories. And so it really becomes eye-opening for them. So whether there are 5 adults and 1 kid or 1 adult and 5 kids, it becomes eye-opening in terms of the decisions that have to be made around the budgeting in the household. And so it is fun. You know, most of our young people, they come in and they see Taco Bell there and they see Cox. And they want to know just immediately, you know, how many times they can eat out in a month and what kind of data package they can get. But when we talk about kind of, you know, that Stephen Covey rule about, you know, putting your big rocks in first. They have to apply for a mortgage loan, they have to apply for an auto loan, and depending on their debt to income ratio, do they qualify for that, or do they have the disposable income to actually pay for those things? So they can get into a single family home, maybe a condo, maybe they're renting, you know, depending on their situation. Maybe they're renting, or maybe they're even in a weekly. It just kind of all depends.
Now, I get to the whole questions about, you know, programming and how people can learn more about, you know, taking a tour or coming to one of those moments, right? So those are usually done for the high school level, middle and high school level through schools, or how do people, you know, if I want to send my son, so he goes through the program and learns about that for a day. Like, how can we do that?
Traditionally, they come through schools, but we have what we call these community days, and our first community day is going to be on Halloween, October 31st.
Okay.
At the Inspiration Center there on Tropicana, for $20, a young person can either join the elementary school side, Biztown, or the middle and high school side. It's an 8 to 2 afternoon. So it's a Nevada day, so kids are out of school that day.
Yeah.
And so it's an opportunity for you to come and learn a little bit.
Okay, that's perfect, because I really would like my son to do this.
It's $20, $30 if you want lunch.
He's a senior in high school, and I just, you know, he understands very surface level, and he has a business, and he works at a local restaurant, and but I think putting those parameters there and setting that up really puts, like you said, puts it into perspective to where now they're out on their own. Let's say they're going into college the next year and they're off living, whether they're living on mom and dad's dime or not, learning how to manage their own money and save for the future, prepare for the future is just so important.
Absolutely.
So important.
So then what is...
Oh, that's okay. We can cut this out.
Okay.
Did you want to go back to your career?
Oh, we can. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll start back there. Sorry, Gabe. I know we usually don't do a lot of editing.
You were asking about the things in my career that had...
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Hold on. You caught me off, too. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's talk about your journey to today. What are some of those key milestones that brought you, through your career and ultimately how you ended up at the Junior Achievement of Southern Nevada?
Absolutely. So let me start with 25 years ago, I was the Vice President of Education for J.A. Dallas. And at that point, I had just left the Congresswoman's office and was really trying to, put things in perspective. I've always been really passionate about education and about giving young people the tools that they need to be successful. So the work that I was doing with the Congresswoman was valuable, but I really wanted to make sure that I was making a difference at the end of the day. And so going back into education and giving kids the tools that they need to be successful was important to me. Working with the Children's Defense Fund, I've had a varied career with them, and one of the really cool things is that we got a chance to sit with elected officials and talk to them about the bills that they passed and how they affected children. And so there were a couple of bills that really changed the dynamic for a lot of young people. I want to say it was in the 90s under Clinton. We were talking about redoing kind of workforce connections and making sure that, people weren't on assistance for the rest of their lives.
Okay, right.
And so for me, that's when junior achievement was really critical, and making sure that we were, because junior achievement, giving people the tools to understand how they fit into the economy, to understand how you balance your budget, really kind of help in budgeting as a whole, just kind of, earning and saving and how all that all fits together, was important for me. And so,
okay.
Having been on the education side, now on the development side, now I see the bigger picture. I was always a part of the ask, but I'd come in and do my spiel in terms of education and give numbers and statistics, and then I'd leave out. Now it's kind of putting all of that together and kind of painting a picture of what somebody's support can do and how it can change generational curses.
And how did you end up in Las Vegas? How did you end up in Nevada?
My
From
sister and my
Texas?
mother were here.
Okay.
And my mom had gotten sick, and so I came down to help her. I was at the time writing grants and doing different things like that, and so I was working from home. And so an opportunity to come here and kind of support my sister and my mom. My mom subsequently is doing much better and has moved out of state.
She moved back to Texas?
She moved back to California.
Oh, okay.
But my sister was here, and she had a medical facility, and so I kind of stayed here and kind of hung out with her.
You can give a shout out to your sister, too.
Oh.
She's a very accomplished doctor.
Dr. Robbie Burns is now the official position of the Las Vegas Aces. And so, excited about the work that she's doing.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the driving mission. You talked a little bit about your passion for education. What is your purpose that lies at the heart of your work?
I want to say being that catalyst. Helping young people understand unlimited possibilities. We do a big career fair. We do it because it's called Inspire Career Expo. We do it in conjunction with UNLV. And so all of their schools are represented, but we want to make sure that, higher education is attainable for young people if that's what they want to do. So, Roseman is there, Nevada State is there, CSN is there, Arizona College of Nursing. And so giving kids the options about, what higher education looks like, but also, that's not everybody's path.
Right.
And so making sure that the military is there in case that's what, where you want to go, but also making sure that, entrepreneurs are there, real estate agents and insurance agents and folks that have kind of just struck out and kind of made their own path, but also in the trades,
Right.
making sure that young people are considering those kind of options and apprenticeships and those kind of things. And so excited to create a space where young people can really begin to map out what life can look like for them.
I love that it's so multidimensional. There's so many paths that you feature because we've been talking for the last few years about how there's been such a hard push for college the past 30 years that there's a lot of fields that people are dying out of, that people are retiring out of, like the trades, like insurance, like a lot of things that people don't think about, when they're going to, school. And we're bringing back that mentality that, college isn't for everybody and you don't have to pursue that path.
Right.
You can go into anything. And here's some of these careers that you don't need a college education for, that all you need is training, and you can get right in and start making really good money from the beginning at a young age. Yeah, I love that.
We talk about, drone operators can make six figures coming right out of high school.
Wow.
I bought my grandson a drone for Christmas last year. And hopefully, I'm telling you, are you playing with it every day? Because again, there's some options for young people.
What gets you motivated to start each day? I know this is like a common theme for these questions, but what gets you excited to walk in the doors at your campus every morning?
It really is about the possibilities. There's so much that can happen in Vegas in one day. You start out in the morning with one thing, and then you go, 8 hours. The people that you meet, you never know who you're going to come across. And so that's what I think kind of motivates me every day, because I think about just, again, the options that are available to our young people.
How would you say the work at Junior Achievement is pushing boundaries?
Oh gosh, we are the fifth largest district in the country in terms of our public school system, and that's over 300,000 young people. And so the idea that we probably have if we include the parochial schools and private schools and public charters, there are probably 400,000 young people in this community. And so the idea that we're only reaching 25,000 of those kids every year that's what pushes my boundaries. It says, we have to get at least 60,000. Once we get 60,000 kids in the building every day, that says that we're meeting 84% of all fifth graders, or 84% of all ninth graders. And so that's the push for us, making sure that we are reaching all of our educational institutions, even working with our homeschool contingents as well.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of hard work, but it's so important.
It's
so important. It's fun work.
It's fun work.
And it's just, it's crucial. It's needed, as Jeremy said, for young people to understand finance and understand career paths. Let's talk, professional advice. Gosh, you've had such a great career. Looking back, what is some advice that you would give to someone who's just starting out? Maybe it's in your field, maybe it's not. Maybe it's pivoting too. You've pivoted a couple of times, usually along the same lines, but you've gone in a little bit of different directions. What kind of advice would you give?
I just say, be yourself, be authentic, and follow your passion. And I think people talk about, if you follow your passion, it's never real work.
Right.
And I believe that. I believe that. Everything that I've done has been fun. It's been engaging. I've learned a lot. And so I say just follow your passion.
So what upcoming initiatives are you working on right now? I know you were busy grant writing today, and you had a team building luncheon, and you're always working on the next thing. You're doing development, and you're doing grant writing, and then tons of events coming up that people can take advantage of.
Absolutely. So we had a little sneak peek on June 26th. We've got Bottles for BizTown. And now we are expanding that, Bottles for BizTown and Fashion for Finance Park. And that is going to be a fun, adult-themed event. Kids won't be there, but it's all about raising money for the kids.
Exactly.
And so it is a beer, wine, and spirits tasting event, where they'll be paired with gourmet bites, and there'll be a fashion show there'll be a silent auction. Just, again, learning a little bit about what happens in our center, but all adult themed. And so on one side, on the BizTown side, it'll be our beer side.
Okay.
And so there will be, we're going to play beer pong, we're going to, do some axe throwing, we're going to do a little golf. So really kind of pub style games on that side, just kind of having fun, tasting beer, tasting the bites that go along with it. And then on Finance Park, it's going to be really kind of an elevated sense of games, some trivia, some different kinds of things, but really just kind of the fashion show and really kind of pulling things through to help people understand just the support that we have in the room.
I'm so excited for this type of event. I love events that have lots of activations and just engagement, right? Because it really gets, instead of just where there's a bunch of tables and you expect people to introduce themselves to each other, this is an opportunity to really just have fun, right?
It really is. And that's what people said. They liked the event. We went to the LBGA Perspectives last year and the Moon Ridge Summit, and they talked a lot about just kind of what young people want. There's a new idea in Las Vegas, and there are young people who have a sense of wealth. And they're not really into the galas. They don't want to go to a night, they don't want to get dressed up at night and kind of do that. They want to do something different. And so this was kind of designed for that new audience.
Okay.
So, we're excited about it.
So that's one thing. You mentioned a couple of other events you've got coming up too.
Yes. Community Day on 10/31.
Okay.
But the other big fundraiser that we do is called Swimming with the Big Fish. And this is a 5th grade Shark Tank style business pitch for 10-year-olds. And we'll be at 5 elementary schools this year, and we'll do a campus-wide competition at the school. And then the top 5 teams will come to the luncheon with us. Okay. The top team from each school will present to our audience and the sharks. And these sharks are, business executives. We were at Fountain Blue. It was the president of Fountain Blue. It was, one of the somebody from the governor's office. And so we've had a range of different judges, and they're going to, ask these kids, to defend their business pitch.
Wow.
And so
that's an exciting opportunity. And are these schools already pre-planned out? Or do they have to submit an application to
We had
compete?
3 schools last year, and then we'll have 5 this year. 1 school dropped out because they're doing some different programming with us. But we will invite 3 more schools to be a part of that group.
Okay, I'm excited to see what they come up with. It must be really interesting.
So our kids can we have a team of entrepreneurs, and so if there's anybody out there that is interested in joining that team, these are the adults that kind of come in and help coach our young people. So they actually teach the very first lesson about entrepreneurship and just kind of how you create this, how you build on an innovation or create something out of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so they teach the first lesson and then come back to the school a couple different times to help kind of coach them through their pitch.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
We worked with Thompson Tea, and they actually appeared. Randy Choi and Billy Thompson appeared on the actual Shark Tank. And so they actually come back in and kind of help the young people kind of get prepared for their stage presentation as well.
That's great.
It's a lot of fun.
So real quick, tell me, what was the winning business idea last year in the school?
It was MLK. It was their first year to be a part of the program. And they came up with a super cane. And the young man said, there's a team of 4. And these young people, they actually earn a scholarship to UNLV.
Oh, wow.
So there's an account set up for them. So the first place team divided $9,000. So each young person has an account now set up for them for about $2,600.
Mm-hmm.
And so they choose to access, if they choose to go to UNLV, then they can access that money.
They can access that.
Yes, but they created the super cane.
Okay.
And this was one of the young men, his dad had multiple surgeries. And so he had fallen several times and was just not... his gait was not very stable, and so he used a cane. And so this group came up with a super cane. So it had a handle that was vintage, kind of that regular cane style, with a hook, and then they had another one that was more. More today, and it was a different kind of handle, but it had a warmer in the handle. It played music. It could gauge the ground, and if the ground was becoming unstable, if there was we're going to step down of sorts, it would advise the user of what kind of the gate that was getting, the terrain that they were getting ready to come upon.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
that's
yes.
really cool.
This is a super cane. This was
super cane. That's so cool.
So we had the super cane. We had gum away. And so gum away was where if you got gum in your hair or gum on the carpet, gum in your clothes, it was you could spray it, and it had several different attachments you could put on there, and you kind of scrape it out. It was a brush and a comb and another kind of little contraption you could put on there. So these kids come up with some really, really cool ideas.
That's so neat. All right, so we're going to change gears and ask some really fun questions. I love this part because you're a development director. You're always meeting with people that you hope will support junior achievement. So you're used to networking. So these are networking fill in the blank Mad Lib style questions. So. Just say the first thing that comes to mind. The key to networking in Las Vegas is to always remember to.
Oh gosh. The key to networking in Las Vegas is to always remember to have plenty of business cards.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
In Las Vegas, it's not just about business, it's also about
relationships.
Yes, of course. One thing every new transplant should know before moving to Las Vegas is to never underestimate the power of
social media.
Social media,
yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people through social media.
When it comes to connecting with a business contact over dinner or drinks or coffee, you can never go wrong meeting up at...
You can always find some place to go, the District, Town Square, or Summerlin.
Yeah, I always say, where do you live? And I'll tell you where I live, and where's the middle? All right, let's find a place over there. The best way to unwind after a long day of doing business in Las Vegas is to indulge in some what?
Girl chat.
Girl, oh, that's really sweet.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. With your sister or just with any friends?
Sisters, best friends. I have a couple of, we just kind of get together and just kind of unwind. Just
nice.
Kind of, oh my God, what was going on today? Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry your day went like that.
Yes.
Or congratulations.
Yes, those two.
Yes. Okay, and then I love just doing this personal lightning round of questions to get to know Wendy a little bit better, because you're not just a development director. You have a personal life and some fun dreams and things, you know?
Absolutely.
If you could teleport anywhere in the world right now, where would you go and why?
Oh gosh, I would go to Fiji.
Oh yeah.
And why? Because my sister said she had the absolute best time there. It was hot, but the sun didn't burn you. You felt like it was just engulfing you. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, oh gosh, I would love to go to Fiji.
Sounds lovely. Yes. What did you want to be when you grew up?
You know, I never really put a name to it, what I wanted to be. I wanted to always make a difference, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you had a superpower, what would it be, and how would you use it?
Oh gosh, I would probably fly or kind of teleport or something. My son and my grandson are in Texas, and I miss them tremendously. And so yeah, if I could be my grandson started school for his 5th grade.
Okay.
I missed the first day of school. I usually try to get there for the first day of school or for big events that he has going on in his life. And so if I could just fly there and get back really quick, then that would be perfect.
You could be there for a couple hours, and it would be lovely. What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done, and would you do it again?
No, I wouldn't do it again. And it was whitewater rafting.
Oh, okay, yeah. Was it what level? I know that they have different levels.
I'm not
rafting.
sure what level this
you don't
was.
Remember?
We were at Pikes Peak. I was there for a conference. And we were, we got a chance to get in the raft. And he said, "Oh gosh, when the waters slow down, you can get out and you can swim." One lady got out and swam. She said, "Oh my gosh, the water is so warm. It's so beautiful." And so I took the next opportunity to get out and swim. And I was told, "Okay, come on back. We're getting ready. Here comes the rapid." And so I was not. A few of us got out of the raft actually, and so we all couldn't get back in at the same time. I was the last one to try to get back in. They said we got to a rock. Told me to kick off the rock and they'll pick me up around the other side.
Oh gosh.
So you already see it coming, right? I kicked off the rock and started going down, and they couldn't get to me fast enough. But here came a kayaker.
Oh gosh.
So here comes the guy on a kayak. He tells me to put my hand through a rope on the end of his kayak. And so he took me through the rapid.
Oh my gosh. I can see
no,
why
I will
you do
not
not want to
do
do
it
it
again.
I got stuck on an inner tube going down a river with my family 2 weeks ago on a girls family trip, and I was panicked beyond belief. And then they tell me when the guy came to rescue me on a paddleboard, because the rest of my family had all made it to shore.
Oh gosh.
He tells me calmly that a few people died a few weeks prior to that because they kept going and got into some rapids. And I'm like, well, thank God nobody told me that before. I mean, I was already freaked out. So
Right. I didn't pay attention to the safety message either.
Oh my gosh, right. Okay, let's make the last one a fun one. If you could swap lives with a fictional character or a real person, who would it be, and what would you do?
Gosh, it would probably be somebody like Oprah.
Okay. Oh gosh, yeah,
just
right.
live that life for a little bit.
I was just reading a book called Buy Back Your Time, fantastic business book, where he talked about some of those characteristics of people who are very, very successful and how they live their life and what they do on a day-to-day. And this was literally 2 days ago I was reading this. And it said she gets up in the morning and she sleeps in until 9, and then she takes her dogs outside and enjoys some coffee and all these lovely things, works out in the morning. Then she only spends 2 hours a day on actually working.
Oh, wow.
Like business decisions and things, 2 hours. And then she works out again, and then she makes a lovely dinner, and she spends time with Stedman, and then that's her day.
I'm like, do that.
Well, yes. That's what I want. Yes.
Every day
So I can imagine being Oprah now that I know her daily schedule.
Right.
Well, Wendy, it's been so much fun chatting with you today. Tell people how they can learn more about Junior Achievement and follow the work that you do there.
Thank you. So we're on every social media outlet that you can imagine: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Not on TikTok yet, but we have Crystal Ray volunteers. Our interns are going to get us on TikTok.
Nice. Okay.
So we're excited to be there. But jasnv.org is our website. For educators, please go there and sign up for a tour. Sign up to get your class scheduled for either traditional program where we send a volunteer into the classroom to work with you, or you do a field trip experience and come to the capstone programs at the Inspiration Center.
Perfect. Yes. I can't wait to go visit again and send my son.
Sounds good. We'll see you on Halloween.
That's perfect. Well, that's a wrap today for today's episode. Be sure to follow us at GYC Vegas on Instagram, Facebook, X, and LinkedIn, and subscribe to our channel wherever you stream podcasts. And if you want to learn more about how your business can enhance its marketing efforts through the power of PR, visit our website at gycvegas.com. Thanks for listening to Get Your Chat On with GYC Vegas, and we'll see you next time.